I don't know what's in here. Oh. Never mind, it was nothing. Jeez. Greetings, readers, writers, and fans of the dark and the mysterious and the paranormal. Welcome to another exciting and educational episode of The Writing Lair. My name is Brady Longmore. I'm an independently published author. I currently have 4 novels in publication, and if you are a fan of reading and writing, the more like horror and mystery and thrillers, you like a good ghost story, and you like to talk a little bit about the craft of reading, the craft of writing, and if you like to read, you are welcome here, and I invite you to click the like button down there and subscribe. We may be kindred spirits, and what better way to find out? So let me adjust give me a second here. Looks like I need to tilt this camera down a little bit. You're just making you stare all the way at the ceiling, huh? Some of you might recognize I'm in my all-nighter hoodie. This is my most comfortable hoodie that I own. It means I'm preparing to put in another all-nighter, another all-night writing session, which I will often do. I'll put one in, 1 or 2, a month. Pull an all-nighter because that's how my actual work schedule works, and it affords me the opportunity to do that. And so tonight's one of those nights. Welcome. I'm excited about this episode because it's a Writing Lair field trip. I don't know how many of these I'll do because it's not like I have like this list of places, but this was an opportunity that just popped up unexpectedly for me, and I grabbed a hold of it and ran with it. And everything worked out. I teased it a little bit on my Facebook page, so some of you may have. I know people are waiting because I've been getting messages. Hey, when's the next episode? So, hey, that's always a good sign. That was the sound of my cat Chewy. My voice must be annoying him right now. Anyway, so let's get on with it. Let's get started with today's episode. The field trip. Let me tell you a little bit about this building. So, this building that we're going to go see is an old hotel that dates back to 1926 in Idaho Falls, downtown Idaho Falls, the historic area of Idaho Falls. It was known as the Virginia Hotel. It's not too far from where the Snake River runs through town, and it's been sitting there on that corner for 95 years. It's been anything from a hotel. It's been a hotel. It's been a hardware store. It's been a clothing store. It was a beauty and makeup supply company was in there. I used it for offices, and a publishing company actually was in there. And during all that time, like during the 40s and there was times during the 50s and 40s, I believe, it was kind of vacant and boarded up, but it's been brought back to life. And so incidentally, I used to have an office in that building. I worked for the publishing company that was in there. We published magazines, a magazine publisher, and I will plug them. I don't think there's anything wrong with dropping their name. They are Harris Publishing, and they publish a whole bunch of magazines. I don't know how many they are now. I haven't looked into it, but when I worked there was probably at least a dozen, from snowmobiling magazines to gardening magazines to boating magazines. Anyway, golf. There was a golf magazine. There was even a playground magazine. Anyway, they publish these magazines. They do a really good job. Those of you who are from Idaho Falls might recognize the Idaho Falls magazine, and they are the publishers of that. So back in the I guess around 2000 or so, I was a graphic artist, graphic designer working there for them, and it was a good job. What was crazy though is I hadn't been working there very long when I started to hear that the building was haunted, which even back then really piqued my interest. And there was some employees that had some pretty cool stories. I mean, maybe it wasn't cool for them. To me, I thought they were cool, but um, I don't want this video to be very long because it takes forever for me to upload these, and I know that people's attention spans are short, so I don't want to go on and on and on telling all these different ghost stories. So I'll just kind of gloss over it. I've already been to the building, so it's been pre-recorded. But anyway, one of the stories working there. So I kept hearing these stories. I guess I'll just say I kept hearing these stories. There was a kind of a ghost that people would see, a man in coveralls walking around in the building. People would catch glimpses of him out of the corner of their eye, or think they saw him, and they'd get up and look, and there was nothing there. There was a couple guys late at night. They were staying late to put together one of those desks, the desks that come like an IKEA style. It's all in a box. You pull it out, and there's all these parts and instructions. And these two guys were kneeling on the floor, and they had all the parts scattered out in front of them, and they were trying to put it together. Sorry, I gotta do something here with my computer. Okay, so they're putting this stuff together, and at the same time, they felt, this is on the top floor, they felt like someone had come up behind them and put their hands on the back of their necks. They both turned around, and there was nobody there. They both felt it. They both looked at each other, and they both got the heck out of there for the night. Me being interested in this stuff, and I wasn't an author yet. I was dreaming about it. I was thinking about it. I was wishing, and I thought, you know what? I want to see this ghost. One night, I was all by myself in this building, and it's like 4 floors. It's with a basement, and it's a big building, pretty good size. And I realized I'd been working late, and I realized I was all alone. And I thought, you know what? If I'm ever going to see a ghost, if I'm going to see this thing, right now is probably the best opportunity. So before I went home, instead of going straight home, I decided to walk all the floors. I walked around in this building. I stayed quiet. I walked across. I went up to the top floor, walked and stayed quiet, and left the lights kind of off. I had to see, so there's a few lights on, but I don't know if I was disappointed or relieved. I don't remember, but I did not see any ghost. But I have this theory that if we go seeking it like that, we're less likely to have an experience. I think when we're searching, seeking, on the prowl, so to speak, for ghosts, that maybe we're less likely to have an experience. Because usually the people who have experiences, it's when they're least expecting it. They're not even looking for a ghost. A lot of people don't even believe in them until they see something weird. So I think, it's just my own little personal feeling on it. Not to discredit all the ghost hunters out there. But anyway, I don't know how much longer it was, but I needed a chair for my office. Clients would come to my office to see like a logo I had designed or something, and I didn't have a place for them to sit, I realized. So I went to one of my bosses, and I asked him if I could have a chair. And he said, yeah, sure, there's a whole pile of furniture down in the basement. And I was like, there's a basement? I'd never been in the basement. So I went I went down to the basement, and sure enough, it was this big open basement, and there was all this. He was right. There was furniture, chairs, desks, and he told me I could just take whatever I wanted or whatever I needed from the pile. So I did. But as I was down there, I thought, I'll walk around and check things out, because that's kind of how I am. Let's have a look at this basement. So I was walking around this basement, and I got to, there's this corner. It's just a corner. Nothing special, but it was really, I don't know, there was something about it. The hair, and I wasn't even thinking ghosts. I wasn't even scared. It's not like it was dark down there either. I just hit this corner, and it was almost like there was something pushing back on me. Like, don't come any closer. I just had this feeling. Hair on the back of my neck kind of stood up. I kind of got this gut feeling like I don't like this. And maybe it was my imagination. That's what drives me crazy, is it's all gut feelings, and you can attribute it to anything, but that was my gut feeling, and I grabbed a chair and I left, and I never went back down there again until recently, which you will soon see. So anyway, that's kind of my own personal story with the building. I know it's not much. I wish I could tell you I saw more. I wish I could tell you I experienced more. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't. But anyway, that's how things went for me. But anyway, recently the building has been purchased. The publishing company's out, and a new owner has bought the building, and he's having it renovated for apartments, and I think he's having it turned into apartments and possible Airbnb place. Anyway, he's renovating it, and there's a construction company in there doing the work. And I reached out to the owner of the construction company because I personally know him, and I talk about him in the video, so I plug him a little bit. So I won't plug him again here, but anyway, it was really cool because I got to go and check this hotel out, this old hotel. I haven't been there in 20 years, and it was real fun to walk through and remember things and kind of be the only ones in there. Me and my beautiful, lovely assistant came with me and served as my camera woman. Anyway, I guess that's it. And for now, without further ado, the Writing Lair will now embark on a little field trip to the Old Virginia Hotel. And I hope you enjoy. So sit back, relax, and let's take a little trip through Ghostland. Okay, so here we are. Behind me is the Hotel Virginia, I guess, even though it says Rogers on the side. So the Rogers Hotel is right next door. But this is the building I was talking about. We're down here in historic Idaho Falls downtown section. Incidentally, just that way, maybe a 10-minute walk, is the Blood Home that I told you about in a previous video. So anyway, so here we are, and let's go ahead. I've got permission from my friend Laren Bounds at Bounds Built Construction, and he's the company that's in there renovating right now. So that's how I was able to get permission to get in here and have a look around. I haven't been in this building for 20 years about, so this should be pretty fun. A little stroll down memory lane. Anyway, so with that, let's go ahead and let's go inside. Okay, so we're inside the building. We came up to the top floor, which is where most of the stories I heard came from, up here. And as you can see, it's, they got a company, Bounds Built Construction, in here, and they have been renovating and turning the place into apartments. But this is where the stories, most of the paranormal stories I heard originated from right up here where we are right now. So one of those stories was this office. Come with me for a second. So this office, I believe it was this one here on my right, A woman was in here, and her desk was right. You can actually still see the imprint on the carpet, I bet, where her desk was. But she was there at work, and it was lunchtime, and she was the only one up here. And out of the corner of her eye, she saw somebody walk right past her, right past this door. And she thought it was weird because the person was dressed in coveralls, and she even actually saw like a red handkerchief kind of thing hanging out of his back pocket. And that was strange because this was a business office setting. Everyone dressed, in kind of dressy clothes, so it was weird to see someone dressed like that. She jumped up out of her desk because she just thought it was weird. So she actually thought it might be the boss, might be the owner. Maybe he was stopping in real quick into his office, which was down here a little ways farther. But she came out, and she came into the hallway, and she turned around, and you can see, if you turn the camera, you can see there was just nowhere for anyone to have gone. And there was nobody in the hallway, and she was still alone up here. She walked down this hallway, and she checked in all these other doors and offices and realized she's the only one up here. Other people reported seeing the same person, this man in coveralls. And I guess they even, later I found out, they gave the ghost a name. They called him Hank. And some people wonder, or there's just a theory that maybe he was a maintenance man that worked here when it was a hotel years ago, and maybe he just still likes to hang around. Maybe he died on the job or something, and he still just hangs out here in this old building. So anyway, we'll go from here. We'll walk through the building a little bit, and then I'll take you down to the basement where I had my own little creepy. I don't know if we want to go, but I did bring a flashlight just in case. So, all right, we'll be right back. So right now we're just kind of making our way through. Maybe we'll catch something on camera here as we walk through the building. My lovely assistant, she's really scared right now. This is the work that's going on. I can't imagine how hard these guys are working to do this. So I'm gonna plug my friend's company, Bounds Built Construction, because it's really cool for them to let us come in here. But if you have any work that needs to be done, these guys can do it all. So anything from building a porch. This was my office. I just found my office. This is it. So a lady she sat here, and I had to walk through her office to get to mine. So I'd come to this little door. So this was my little office here. And I thought it was pretty cool because I got to have a window. I really thought I was up and coming in the world. I had an office with a window into this alley. But pigeons would land here on the ledge all the time. And while I was working at my desk, at my computer, so can't see much, but I would open the window on hot days because there was no AC. But what was I talking? Oh yeah, Bounds Built Construction. So if you need a porch built, basement finished, you name it, floors put in, additions added to your house, all that kind of stuff, these guys can do it. So if you're local and you live in the Idaho Falls area, get a hold of Laren Bounds, and he'll hook you up with some quality work. Maybe if I shut my yap, we'll see a ghost. But I'm going to turn this off for now, and we'll head down to the basement, I guess. All right, so we're down here in the basement. Behind me is that corner here that I talked about, where I kind of had that creepy feeling. So it doesn't feel so creepy down here right now for some reason. I feel okay, but this is the spot, and you can see. You want to just give a little quick view of the basement. Those are the stairs I came down, I remember, instead of the ones we just used. We used some other back stairs, but this is kind of where that happened. So my own personal experience, all these ghost stories and stuff, as far as this building is concerned, I didn't personally feel
experience anything except for that creepy hair on the back of the neck feeling that I got while I was down here getting that chair. So, but talking to the Laren, the owner of the construction company that's working here right now, he told me that some of his workers have said they've heard some sounds like laughing as they've been working in the hallways, some strange noises, and so sounds like they may be experiencing a little something. They say old buildings, when you disturb them with construction, renovating, and stuff like that, that can stir up paranormal activity. So that's an interesting that they think they may have heard something. So okay. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for now. We've seen enough of the old Virginia hotel, I think. And from here, I will sign off and we'll head back home to the writing lair.
All right, we are back. What'd you think? Pretty cool old building, huh? I didn't record like tons of video in there. I didn't want to make it too long. Just wanted to show some of the highlights, and it was really cool. I thought it was fun to find my old office. But anyway, that's the old Virginia Hotel, downtown Idaho Falls. I think it's legit haunted because the people I talked to that had these experiences were just normal, regular people who there's no reason for me to think that they would make up these stories. So I think their experiences are real, and I think there's possibly something going on in that building, especially when Laren told me that his workers are actually kind of hearing like laughter behind the walls and stuff like that. That's kind of creepy. After he told me that, I was a little creeped out to walk through there, to be honest with you. Anyway, before we leave, there's something I wanted to start doing for the writing lair, and that is I want to start doing book recommendations, book or video or movie, just whatever, like kind of the story recommendation. How about that? So I thought it'd be fun to start doing my own personal recommendations of books, movies, other YouTube channels, whatever floats my boat. So I'd like to leave you all with a recommendation for one of my personal favorite stories of all time, written by the master Ray Bradbury. And the book is called Something Wicked This Way Comes. And if you think you've seen the movie and you don't need to read the book, you are very mistaken. The book is excellent. Ray Bradbury is a wordsmith beyond compare. I love reading Ray Bradbury, but I also hate reading Ray Bradbury because it makes me feel like an inadequate hack. But just an excellent little kind of a horror. It's horror. And it's a little bit of an inspiration behind The Summoning, that small town feel, the invader from the outside invading the peace of a small town. I wanted to kind of invoke the same sort of setting and those same sort of feelings when I wrote The Summonings. And I definitely, Something Wicked This Way Comes was definitely a inspiration to me when I was writing The Summoning. So go check out, if you have never read it, check out once again Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. The audio version is excellent, well performed by the narrator. I can't tell you who he is right now because this is just going off the top of my head, but it's a fairly short read too, so you get through it quick, and just great descriptions, great setting, and just an overall excellent horror novel, and very well done. So with that, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed our little field trip. I hope if you did, and this is your first time visiting me, I hope I deemed myself worthy of your subscription. Please subscribe. Please like. Help me grow this channel so I can continue to do it and continue to make these little episodes. I'm having a blast. I hope you are too. And until we meet again, I wish you all happy reading.
What the hell's going on? Come to the library tonight.